When comedy shows first started, it was very different from what we have now. Humankind's sense of humor has changed over the years, which has caused comedy TV shows to change in order to fit the viewer's point of entertainment. When technology was evolving and blooming, so was the need for a new type of comedy on TV. The same old jokes got so old that they weren't even called humor anymore. Viewers wanted change. They wanted something new that they could laugh at and enjoy. And revolutionary sitcoms would be created for that purpose. It all started in the 1950s, which was considered the golden age of situation comedies, where comedy shows were first starting to evolve and bloom. And that was when the main theme of all sitcoms was family life. The thought of a good comedy was to have a traditional family with kids and a small problem to fix in each episode, with simple jokes to add in some more laughs. One of the most successful sitcoms at the time was I Love Lucy from 1951 to 1957, which brought a whole new change to comedies, and the successful Burns and Allen's show.
After living with George all these years, it's disgraceful to learn we're not really married.
One of your business dinners?
Comedies in the 1960s still had family life sitcoms, but with more modernization and a sense of cultures and politics. The 1960s was a decade of cultural and political change, and so was the sitcoms. Aside from these themes, a huge range of sitcoms such as Genies and Witches and less notably, animated sitcoms. The Beverly Hillbillies, a comedy about a family becoming rich and moving to Beverly Hills, and Bewitched, a comedy about a witch married to a mortal and her trying to live a normal life, was one of the most famous ones of that time.
I woke up.
You all right?
I heard a sound and I woke up.
You sneezed.
Just call me Sam.
The early 1970s meant higher costs for production, and failing comedies were quickly removed and replaced to prevent greater loss in money. Many of the comedy shows addressed social issues, like popular sitcom All in the Family from 1971 to 1979. At the end of the 1970s, it showed a decline on sitcoms and the rising popularity in action and adventure TV shows. The 1980s was centered on family life and relationships between single adults and kids. The Simpsons, the animated situation comedy, was an example, and Jerry Seinfeld's Seinfeld Show was another.
I want the complete opposite of tuna on toast.
The 1990s was the rebirth of popular animated sitcoms. Most notably, The Simpsons, and other successful ones include King of the Hills and Family Guy. And some shows, like the most popular US sitcom in the 1990s, created years ago, Seinfeld, had story arcs, which was basically episodes making up one section or story, and ongoing episodes. They were one of the most modern evolutions of comedy.
The sea was angry that day, my friends.
As the 20th century passed, more adult content and complicated plots appeared. The media also incorporated more themes into comedy shows, like science and school life. Scrubs.
Let's brainstorm. I could hit you over the head with a wrench, or I could stab you in the gut with the knife. Knife wrench!
Community. 2.5 Men.
When I say I understand, it doesn't mean I agree. It doesn't mean I understand. It doesn't even mean I'm listening.
The Big Bang Theory.
You're just in time. I believe I've isolated the algorithm for making friends.
And How I Met Your Mother shows what kind of sitcoms we have now.
I had a dog named Bean. Whenever he made the face that you're making right now, you just knew he pooped somewhere in the house.
People always wanted something to laugh at and laugh with. Some viewers thought that sitcoms these days are too sexual, violent, and only suitable for adults. Even cartoon comedies, such as Family Guy, has been a show mainly for grown-ups, but relaxation and laughs it provided still outweighs the negatives. Sitcoms were created to satisfy customers with their humor, and it has been successful in doing so. The opinions of viewers and the fact that they were always satisfied with something newer made situation comedies bloom as the years passed by, and it is still evolving.